Hello guys, today we are going to talk about the SFR, that is Special Function Register of Serial in 8051, that is SCON. SCON is Serial Port Control slash Status Register. The first thing to note about SCON is that it is bit addressable. There are 8 bits in SCON: SM0, SM1, SM2, REN, TB8, RB8, TI and RI. SM0 and SM1, they are serial port mode bits 0 and 1. So if we draw the table, then first thing to notice is that the lower bit is written first and then the higher bit. This is not the case in most of the binary calculations that we do, or the binary table that we make. We first in that we write the lower bit then higher bit. Okay, lower and then higher. In tmod also, if you remember, the lower bit was written here and then the higher bit was written, but in SCON it is the other way around. Okay, so now let's check it. If both are 0 0, then the SCON is in mode 0. It then uses shift register to send the data. Now what I mean by this is that the shift register is used to send the data. The RxD line is used for transmission of data and the TXD line is used for transmission of clock. The baud rate in this mode is fixed. It is F oscillation upon 12. F oscillation is the oscillation of crystal frequency upon 12. This gives you the baud rate. Then if they are 0 1, then mode 1 is selected. Here the data is sent by 8-bit UART. Now what is UART? The full form of UART is Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. Now you heard asynchronous, so there must be something called as synchronous also. Then what's the difference between the two? So let me give you an example. Suppose you are in exam hall. No one is allowed to wear a watch. Only the teacher is wearing a watch and there's no bell. So when the teacher says that it's 11 o'clock, you should start writing your paper. Okay, and when the teacher says it's 2 o'clock, stop writing your paper, you have to obey the teacher. So your transmission and reception of data depends on the clock or the watch with the teacher. The same thing happens here. Here the microcontroller has the clock. It tells the peripheral device to send or receive the data according to the microcontroller clock. Okay, the baud rate in mode 1 is variable. Okay, now listen carefully. We are talking about mode 1 of SCON. Then how is this variable baud rate selected? What we do is that if you remember Tmod also had modes. So if timer 1 is selected in mode 2, okay, timer 1 in mode 2 for mode 1 of SCON, then the baud rate is given as 2 raised to S mod. Let me write it down here. Okay, we are talking about mode 1. Here the timer 1 is in mode 2. For mode 1 of SCON, the baud rate is 2 raised to S mod upon 32 into F oscillation, that is oscillator frequency, upon 12 into 256 minus TH1. Okay, now let me explain you the two new terms that we can see. S mod is a pin in PCON, that is power control, which we are going to learn next. Okay, so this S mod is decided from there, and this TH1 is, as I told you, this is a timer that we are using in mode 2. So timer will have lower bit and higher bit. TL and TH. So this TH1 of will be decided from here, timer 1. Okay, so this is done. Then we come to mode 2. If this is 1, SM0 is 1 and SM1 is 0, then this is in mode 2, and here 9-bit UART is used for serially transmitting the data. The baud rate again is fixed in mode 2. It is F oscillation upon 12 or F oscillation upon 64. Now the question arises, when is it, sorry, I have written it wrong, it's F oscillation upon 32 or it's F oscillation upon 64. So now the question arises, when is it 32 and when is it 64? So again we have a formula for this. Okay, now I'm writing for mode 2. So here the baud rate is 2 raised to S mod upon 64 into F oscillation. If this S mod is 0, so what will happen? 2 raised to 0 will be 1. Okay, so 1 upon 64 into F oscillation, that is F oscillation upon 64. So this will be selected. And if S mod is 1, so 2 raised to 1 will be 2. So 2 upon 64 means if you cancel it out, it will be 1 upon 32. So F oscillation upon 32. So this will be selected. Now comes mode 3. Now mode 3 is similar to mode 2, except that in mode 3 again the variable baud rate is decided because of timer 1, as it happened in mode 1. Okay, I left one thing here. So let's say, as I told you, that timer 1 decides the baud rate in mode 1. If timer 1 is in mode 2, then this will be the formula for baud rate. But what if timer 1 is not in mode 2? Then it is decided by the timer 1 overflow. Okay, so let me write it down here. Timer 1 not in mode 2, then baud rate is equal to 2 raised to S mod upon 32 into timer 1 overflow. Two raised to S mod upon 32 into timer 1 overflow. Okay, we have now completed all the modes. So what is the use of SM2 pin? SM2 pin is the serial port mode bit 2. This helps to enable the multiprocessor feature in mode 2 and mode 3. So in mode 2 and mode 3, okay, helps to enable multiprocessor feature. Okay, now listen carefully. In mode 2 or mode 3, if SM2 is equal to 1, the RI, that is receive interrupt, this RI, okay, I'm talking about this RI will be 1 when the 9th bit is received. Okay, and that received data will be 1. And in mode 1, SM2, if SM2 is equal to 1, this RI will be 1 when the stop bit received is 1. And in mode 0, this SM2 is 0. So I will write it down. SM2 equal to 1. Okay. Then RI will be 1 when 9th data bit received is 1. Okay, and this was for mode 2 and 3. Now if SM2 is equal to 1, RI will be 1 when stop bit received is 1, and this was for mode 1. And in mode 0, SM2 is 0. This means it is not used. Now the remaining pins REN. REN is receiver enable. So as you have understood, REN will be, if it is equal to 1, the receiver will be enabled, and if it is equal to 0, the receiver will be disabled. Two possibilities: 1, receiver enabled; if 0, receiver disabled. Then we have TB8 and RB8. In TB8, it means that in mode 2 and mode 3, it holds the 9th programmable bit to be transmitted. Okay, so TB8 and RB8 actually are both used only in mode 2 and mode 3. RB8 is also used in mode 1. Okay, so TB8 mode 2, 3 holds 9th bit to be transmitted, and in mode 1, 0 it's not used. RB8 similarly, in mode 2 and mode 3, it will hold the 9th bit to be received, and in mode 0 it is not used, but in mode 1 it receives the stop bit. RI is receive interrupt. If RI is equal to 1, then it means one character has been received. Now you should clear the RI for receiving the next character. And then you have TI, that is transmit interrupt. If TI is equal to 1, it means that one character has been transmitted. Now you should clear out the TI so that next character can be transmitted. Now this was all about SCON. Next you have PCON, or the power control SFR. The power control SFR is not, first of all, not bit addressable. Okay, you have SMOD, GF1, GF0, PD and IDL bar. Excuse me. So as I told you, SMOD you have seen before. It is used for baud rate programming in mode 1, mode 2 and mode 3 of serial port. This GF0 and GF1, these are the general purpose flag bits. Okay, general purpose flag bits, and they give the indication about the interrupt. Okay, whether the interrupt occurred in normal mode or whether the interrupt occurred in power down or idle mode. PD is power down. Okay, and this IDL is ideal mode. So I will write it down: SMOD for baud rate in mode 1, 2 or 3, GF1 and GF0 general purpose flag register. What they do? Give an indication of interrupt. PD power down mode. Okay, so if PD is equal to 1, then this microcontroller will go in power down mode. And IDL bar, if IDL bar is equal to 1, this will take the microcontroller in idle mode operation. Sorry. Now, what exactly is the difference between this power down mode and idle mode? In idle mode, the oscillator, okay, that is the crystal oscillator, is still running. Okay. Also, the RAM, the timer, the interrupts all are running as long as the VCC, that is the power supply, is high. In power down mode, the VCC can be reduced to minimize the power consumption. Okay, but you should note that the VCC should be high until and unless 8051 enters in power down mode, and as soon as the power down mode ends, that is the power down mode is terminated, the VCC should again go to high value. Okay, if this is not done, it may damage your microcontroller. So this was all about PCON and SCON. Next we will learn about the interrupts. Thank you.